if you are looking for an amazing oversized shawl this fall that you can wear even while it's still a little bit warm and also kind of makes you feel like Stevie Nicks a little bit while you're dancing around in it, then I have got the project for you. I have been super excited about sharing this. I've had it done for about a week or so, and I am loving wearing it. I did go a little over the top to film the footage. Like, I haven't worn it with this hat. I just thought it would be super fun and just kind of getting in the mood a little bit. I'll probably just wear normal hair and probably won't be twirling quite as much. But if you're interested in this, I have got all the details. This is not a crochet along type of project. I'm going to show you how I made it, the tools I used, the pattern I used, and where to find the supplies. I spent about 12 hours working on this. I had the luxury of having a Saturday completely to myself, and I literally did nothing but crochet. So I got most of it done in one day. Like, I probably spent, I think, about 9 hours just crocheting. Like, not consecutively. I did like stop and go to the bathroom and stop and go get food. But it was about 9 hours. And then like that Sunday, I did follow up with the last 3 hours. So, you know, if you could have it done in under 2 weeks if you were just working, you know, an hour a night after work or something. But if you want to kind of plow through it, I would encourage you to do that. I am experiencing abnormally warm temperatures in Iowa right now. So actually with this dress on and the hat, I got very hot outside. My original plan was to have this for Thanksgiving because to me, the colors remind me of like jam and honey, and I absolutely love it. And I think I'll be able to just have like some really comfy leggings and a t-shirt on and just throw this on top while, you know, we're having guests over and just kind of lounging around and just being relaxed and comfortable. I think I'm absolutely going to love it. But I also think this would be super fun for a girls' night. Like, I had a lot of fun twirling around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this hat now because I am super hot, and I feel like you probably can't see my face that well. So bear with me. I'm going to get rid of this hat. I'll be right back. I have so many videos where I have crazy hair in them because I haven't paid enough attention. I've been trying to do better about that, but I hope that's better. I hope it's not crazy. So for this pattern, I knew I wanted something that was definitely looser and more breathable, and I wanted it to be like a fairly affordable project as well for the size of it. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to use a pattern from the Craft Nut. I believe it's called like Easy Beginner Shawl. I will have that linked down in the description box. But it is the shawl that I have hanging behind me in a lot of videos. This one right here, where I used a Karen, I think it was just one or part of one Karen cloud cake. And I get questions very, very frequently about this one. So this is the cloud cake, I think, is a 3-weight. It might say it's a 4-weight, but it's definitely a 3-weight. And this is definitely I made this to be like a triangle scarf. The thing I didn't like when I made this one is that I went around the whole thing with the color that I had left. And since this is a self-striping yarn, it was all brown. And I did not like how it had that brown outline up there. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat the thing I didn't like in this one. So as far as the pattern goes, I did everything. I followed her pattern, but I did use, I'm using this boy hook, and it is an 8mm. So it is L11 8mm. And I think that is kind of the key to making it so fun and twirly and large, because I am using it on a 4-weight yarn. And I did not have trouble with it slipping off the hook or anything like that. But yes, I definitely recommend an 8 millimeter, just so you get it to be as drapey and as loose. If we're talking about the pattern a little bit more, I followed her pattern all the way until it got to the part where she finishes it off. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even watch that portion because I knew what I was going for, and I knew that really wouldn't be necessary. What I did for mine is the very first color I used was this plum color. It is boysenberry, and I used the least amount of this color. I knew I wanted the dark part up to my face. You know, I know from doing triangle scarves and shawls that even though a lot of times the color you start with, even though you're using the least of it, it kind of tricks the eye into looking like there's the most of it because it's in that main first section and it's a smaller section, and so it's not dispersed as much through, you know, the longer parts. So not counting that the very original like chain and loop that I did up here, I have 16 rows of the boysenberry. But I did only use about 1.5 skeins of this. So I would suggest, because I am 5'4", and you saw like how big this is on me, if you are, you know, closer to 5 foot, under 5 foot, you know, maybe like 5'2" or under, I would suggest subtracting maybe 2 to 3 rows of this initial color of the boysenberry if you choose to use this color. But your starting color, I would maybe not do 16 if you're 5'2" or under. I would maybe, subtract 2 to 3 just so it's not even bigger. I was going for this to be as big as physically possible for me to wear it and feel like I was wearing a cardigan or a blanket, but not actually necessarily have an actual blanket on me. So 5'4" and over, I think you can get by doing the 16 rows. And again, that's not counting this initial one I did up here. I think she did, I don't remember if it was like a chain 4 or a chain 6 and then went into that. So, but 16 visible rows. The next color was this beautiful pumpkin bread, and I had 8 rows of the pumpkin bread. And it really, in my opinion, does not matter which row you're switching it on, whether it is like the double crochets or the triple crochets. I really don't think it matters in the overall look. If you wanted to plan it out to be a little more symmetrical, you definitely could, but I don't think anyone will really notice, or I don't think it is a big deal at all. And then the very last one here, which is goldenrod, I have 6 rows of that. I feel like I'm being a little weird. I'm trying to cover up a little more because this dress I have on, I normally would have a tank top on underneath, and I feel like it's revealing a little more than I would like to reveal. So this is the amount I have left from 2 of each of these skeins. You know, the littlest amount here of the pumpkin bread, the goldenrod is the medium amount left, and the boysenberry I have the most. The other thing that I did differently when doing this shawl is I went along the very top side of this after I finished, and I went around every edge. I used the goldenrod and did a row of single crochet all around the 2 bottom sides of the shawl, just because I wanted to make sure that it was stable and had enough weight on it to keep it like from curling as much, and I wanted it to be a little more solid. But then I also went through and single crocheted, and I took, because I had enough of all of these and I didn't like the results on the other one, I went through and did goldenrod and then switched colors and did my single crochets in the pumpkin bread and then switched colors to the boysenberry, did all of that, and then went back to the pumpkin bread and went back to the goldenrod. And I absolutely love this. I am thrilled with that. I love that there isn't a separate seam on it. Some people might like a border. Me, for one, this was more appealing to me. So let me tell you about this yarn. I'll hold one up here and then I'll kind of read you the specs on this. So this is Brava Tweed. It comes in a bunch of different colors. It is from Knit Picks, and the links below will be affiliate links. So if you do use those, you will help out my channel a little bit. But this is Brava Tweed. It is worsted weight. It is 218 yards. It is 100 grams. And I had not used this before ordering it. I fell in love with colors. And like I said, I knew I wanted this to be an affordable project. But I am a bargain shopper. And I was like, ooh, 218 yards doesn't seem like a lot. This is normally priced at $4.99 per ball. And I was like, I don't know. But having gotten them, I will say, and having worked with it, it is like very squishy yarn. Like it is very, I don't want to say thick, but it has like substance to it, if that makes sense. Like when I do this, I feel like it's got a good squish, and I felt like it went pretty far. I was pleasantly pleased with how far this got me. Like, I feel looking at this, like the stitches are defined. I feel like they're sturdy, if that makes sense. And I didn't feel like sometimes you're just like crocheting and crocheting and you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't getting me very far. I felt the opposite way when I was doing it. So let me tell you a little bit more about this. So it is a 4-weight, and it is 97% premium acrylic, 3% viscose, and it claims to be machine wash and tumble dry. I will probably machine wash it, but I will probably just lay it out to dry. And it does say here, like for hook size, it says I through K is what they recommend for crochet hook sizes. Like I said, though, for this project, I did use this trusty 8mm. I absolutely loved how it turned out with this. I think one of the biggest problems that I have overcome along the way, and I think a lot of people fall into this as well, is with worsted weight yarn, using the yarn or using the hook size that is called for, and it tends to lend itself to a much stiffer project. And especially with budget yarns, which this is premium acrylic, I wouldn't call this a budget yarn, but for budget yarn like Big Twist Value, Red Heart Super Saver, those types, they tend to be a bit stiffer anyway. So if you use the suggested hook or only one size larger, I feel like it just lends you to a very stiff project. And in order for it to be nice and drapey, definitely go up several sizes. So I knew I wanted to do a project similar to this, but I didn't have yarn picked out per se. I have some in my use first bin that I could have used. I had this respun, which I think would have been super fun, but it is very thin. Claims to be a 4-weight, definitely not a 4-weight. Felt like that would have taken me forever and not really given me the results that I wanted for this particular project. And I was creeping on Knit Picks, and if you go into the section, they have, I want to say it's called like bundles, possibly. It might be called bundles. And it had these Brava Tweeds. They're already packaged. So they have a bunch of different color choices already put together for you. And I picked out this, and they call this bundle Hayride. So what I will do is I will link the Hayride, and I will also link these in, well, they don't allow me to like link it individually, but I will have Brava Tweed listed, and then I'll write down what colors it are so you can go in there if you want to get those. But I ordered 3 packs thinking it would take me 3 packs of this, and I didn't need anywhere near this. Like, I feel like you would need to be over 6 foot tall in order for you to need 3 packs of this. Don't get me wrong, I do know a handful of women that are 6 feet and over, but I think for the majority of people that probably would want to make this, this. 2 would definitely be enough, but I am excited because I could definitely do another project. I could make a hat out of each of these, so if I wanted to wear a hat with this, I could. That's also an option. Just so you know, for like a little sneak peek, if you are investigating these different packs right here, there is a Christmas one, and I think it might be called mistletoe, but don't quote me on that. And I did purchase some of those for a project that will be coming out probably in about 3 to 4 weeks, because I want to make myself something to wear on Christmas, just to kind of lounge around in that isn't pajamas. I purchased 3 of those as well, so I don't know if I'll need 3 or not, but I did purchase 3 of those. This whole project and pattern are super straightforward. All you need to know how to do is to do a chain, a double crochet, and a triple crochet. If you haven't done a triple crochet, instead of wrapping the yarn around the hook, like yarning over once, you yarn over twice. So you have like 2 loops on it before you go in, and then you just 1, 2, 3, there's your double crochet. It is super duper easy, and in the Craft Nuts video, I think she does walk you through it. It is a very, very easy pattern, so literally anyone watching this video I guarantee you have the skills to do it. I mean, if it's your first day crocheting ever, you're probably not watching this video, but really, honest to goodness, a very, very, very beginner can do this. So they're really, I mean, if you have questions, let me know or email me or whatever, but I really don't think you'll have any because it is so simple. And the Craft Nuts tutorial on how to get it started, and she walks you through the first handful of rows, because once you get started on this and get like the first 2 rows out of the way, it's just a 2-row repeat. So I'm thinking she takes you up to like row 6 on it, and then, you know, it's just like make it however big you want it to be. That will be linked below. The yarns will be linked below. Use an 8mm crochet hook, and you can have this in probably about 12 hours. I'm an average crocheter, so I'm not exceptionally fast or exceptionally slow, and I was watching a lot of TV when I was doing it. Like I wasn't like in hyper focus mode by any means. I am absolutely thrilled with how this turned out, and I'm very excited to share this with you. And I have found Knit Picks shipping to be very fast. Once in a while they'll have a free ship deal. I do try to take advantage of those when I have it, but otherwise it's like $7 for shipping, and I feel like I generally have it within 4 to 5 days. I've been pleased with that. There's definitely still time to make this fall shawl again before Thanksgiving for sure. And I do want to thank everyone on my live the other day and for Sweet Pea Sids helping me name it, because I was really having trouble making shawl again. Like that wasn't coming to me, even though that seemed obvious, because it is like a giant cardigan sized shawl. I wish so much that I could put a little bit of Fleetwood Mac in the footage of me wearing the shawl again, but unfortunately with you know, obviously the way copyright works, that is not going to be acceptable. So I will have a little bit of footage here at the end again and just put a little bit of music with that. But I encourage you to make this. I had so many people enjoy the 5-night fall shawl that I did and shared that I really wanted to do it again. It's definitely not going to be an every month type of thing, but maybe an every couple of months. But do look for one coming in about 3 to 4 weeks for like a Christmas loungy type of outfit. Please let me know if you make it, or like if you make it, you can make this with literally any yarn. You don't have to use the yarn I picked. I just absolutely adored it for fall. But let me know, like, what yarn are you using if you're doing something else? You can always send me a picture to my email. You can tag me in a picture on Instagram. I was absolutely thrilled to be able to see some of those on Instagram and get to like share them in my stories and stuff like that. So let me know what you make with that. I enjoy so much of the conversation. Like, I know the channel Shannon Talks Yarn, but I don't want to be talking yarn to myself. Like, I want somebody to talk back and and forth with me. So I'm just really enjoying like growing the community a little bit more. If you are still here at this point in the video, I want to encourage you to join the channel membership. I just got it started. It is up. I've got a welcome video, and I will be putting out something here, like the first video for members very shortly. I'm currently in a YouTube boot camp for memberships. I'm super excited that I got invited to apply, and I got accepted into that program. So I am looking forward to learning how to make some valuable content for you, and something that you really enjoy, and something a little bit separate from the main channel. So I will have a link down in the description box, but if you also want to like flip over, there should be an area called join, and I would love it if you wanted to join. I will go ahead and put in a little bit more footage of me twirling around in my shawl again, and I look forward to talking yarn again with you soon. Bye.